Hey guys, welcome to Nomads Podcast. Today is episode 21, I think. I lost count at some point. I think we skipped 19 and jumped into 20, but who needs number 19? And then today we are here with John from UnPack'd. And John and I, we did a podcast before and it was a freaking blast. And I was trying to think about what we could do for this pod. So John and I were talking, and recently we published some tier video lists on Nomads Nation. We did one for slings, one for travel bags, and one for EDC. So I'm like, yo, John, let's get you into the mix, because these tier videos that we did on Nomads Nation, they're a little spicy. And they got some hot takes in there, and we got some spicy comments in the comments below. So these videos are just a lot of fun. It's just a good time. And I was like, I just want to have some fun with John. So John, I'm stoked to have you on the pod. How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Thanks for having me back on the podcast. Glad to be back.
Of course, dude. How are things on your end? Quick little San Antonio check. Life good?
Life is good. Wimbyama's healthy. We're doing good. The channel is growing at a steady pace. So yeah, man, everything's going pretty good. I'm getting more and more opportunities to check out some more gear, so I'm grateful for that.
If we have time at the end of this call, which I don't suspect that we will, because we're going to try to go for like 45 to an hour. But if we have time, I'd love to kind of double click into that and see how the channel growth is going. But one step at a time, let's give the people what they're asking for, and let's give them some tier content. So the way this is going to work, guys, like I said, I already did these videos on Nomads Nation. The way that I had my criteria was I looked through our top viewed bags of all time. So I'm not picking the bags. I just hit popular, and then I scanned on through, let's say for the travel backpacks video. And I said, cool, our most watched travel backpack video of all time is, all these. I picked up the top 12, and then I gave my S tier. Now, John, this is really important. We're not tiering it based on objective beliefs on like the market and how it could fit. It's just personal. Let's just keep it simple, right? I always have a hard time like distinguishing these two things between what I like and what I'm trying to like recommend from an objective perspective. Let's keep things nice and simple. This is about the John tier list and with bags that you have specifically reviewed. So for all the listeners out there, John and I have talked about the bags that I had previously reviewed via tiers and the ones that he also has experience with. And those are the ones that we're going to jump into. So, John, are we cool to start with the travel backpacks?
Yeah, my favorite category.
Your favorite? Really?
Yeah.
Because
I like to carry bigger backpacks. For everyday use, a 26 liter is what I normally carry. And so when I get to test travel backpacks, I test them for work. I test them for EDC. Like a big backpack is where I feel at home. And that's
it's almost like it's a double dip. You're doing some EDC with your travel bags and traveling with them as well.
Yep, and travel bags are what got me into this whole carry world to begin with, was trying to find the perfect travel backpack. So it's my favorite category.
I think that's typically the gateway drug, isn't it? Like most people, myself included, like it started with my travel days. I was backpacking. I had a shitty REI. Actually, in all respects to the REI bag makers out there, it was a good bag. It just wasn't great for modern travel, right? Typical top loader. And then that was annoying the shit out of me. And then, you do a little Googling and then the dominoes just start falling. So yeah, I do think that most people end up getting into this niche some way through travel.
Yeah, for sure.
So speaking of which, dude, all right, so let's jump into this. So I got a list of the travel bags that I've tiered that you have experience with as well. Let's start. I'm going to start at the bottom, and we might just like mix and match. I'm not sure which ones we'll actually cover. I'm just going to go with the flow. I'm going to start a little bit on the spicier side though, because this is a travel backpack that I did not like, that I actually put as a D tier, and it's the Alpaca Elements travel backpack. Now, couple reasons why. I just found it to be a difficult bag to use for travel. And it's funny, I think that Alpaca is just an everyday carry company who's trying to like do travel things as well. And like, it's just, I think they're so good at EDC. It's just such their niche that when they try and do travel stuff, it's like they're coming into it with an EDC mentality. And it just kind of hit them. I'm sorry, didn't hit. It actually missed the mark for me, as
for travel,
the Elements travel backpack just kind of felt like an EDC bag to me in terms of the layout, in terms of the overall silhouette, a little bit taller, not quite wider. It didn't have the full clamshell style opening. So for me, all respect in the world to Alpaca, just on a personal travel bag tier list, it was a D tier. John, in your experience using that backpack, what's your rating?
I'm going to go with C because I like the bag, but to your point, it's like a large EDC bag. There's pockets within pockets. It's like inception of pockets, and like it's kind of crazy. There's so many pockets on that bag, but I carried it perfectly fine for EDC. But it's not an EDC bag, right? But it carried well. I have the VX21 Mojave edition, so I actually have the premium version of it. So that also adds to the how I'm tiering it, because I mean it's that Coyote Brown VX21 is awesome. Uh,
Yes.
but yeah, and it carries very very well. Like it's a super comfortable bag. I think a lot of people sleep on the comfort of that bag, but like you said, just having so much EDC features is kind of a turnoff for travel. But not too far. I give it a C.
When did you review that bag?
Oh man,
Or
over a year ago.
last use it? Over a year ago? Are they
Yeah,
still using like that NASA like foam
yeah,
padding, or
that
did they?
space mesh or whatever. Yeah, yeah, it's pretty gnarly.
What do
It's
you
just
think? It's like a Picasso painting on
yeah.
your shoulders, dude. What do you think about that? Are you a fan or no?
I am a fan of it. Like you can feel the pattern in your shoulders, but overall it feels comfortable. Because it also I just reviewed the Alpaca Bravo Max version 2. And I mean that sling's been out for 3 years, but I just reviewed it like 2 weeks ago on the channel, and it's using that same mesh on their sling. So I actually do like the mesh. It's visually it's pleasing, and it to me it is comfortable. I do like it.
It is visually, you're so right. Like, and I
Yeah.
commend any bag company that's trying to innovate and do something different. And that when I first saw that, I was like, "What the fuck is this? This is awesome." I'm a little torn on the comfort myself. Like, it's not that it's uncomfortable. You nailed it. Actually, you just kind of notice it, which
Yeah.
in its own way can be uncomfortable, but it's not. It's just like it's like, oh, it's right. Alpaca's kind of doing something different with this bag, so I respect it, but not my favorite
Yeah.
implementation there.
In my review video, I did something similar. What I did with to the Firo bag, I put a 30-pound plate in it, and I went on like a 2.5 mile ruck with it on the Alpaca backpack, and it did just fine. Like it felt great. I
Yep.
didn't even have to use the hip belt for that, and it felt good.
See, dude, Alpaca's space technology, fucking
I,
killing
I
it.
think they're getting better though. Their newer bags have a lot less organization, like the Flight Tote, and then I'm sorry, Flight Satchel, and the Traverse backpack. I think they've scaled it down a bit to more travel. So I think they're trending in the right direction, because some of their
I've
older
always
stuff, yeah,
I've always had nothing but love for Alpaca. Obviously, not every product's gonna do it for me,
yeah,
but
yeah.
more or less than to knock it out of the park. That Traverse backpack was really interesting. I loved it, but again, it felt like an EDC minded
Oh
company
yeah,
trying to
yeah,
make a travel bag. That to me is an EDC bag, and I gave it like, we're doing scores now, and like I give it like a 4.5 out of 5. I was just really fucking impressed with it.
yeah.
It is so cool, but it is not a travel bag to me. But that's
No,
also everyone travels different.
it's also a little small too to be a travel bag, in my opinion.
Little and tiny side, unless unless travel bags like your suitcase companion. There's a lot of gray area, right? But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I think we're both on the same page there. It's cool you like the Traverse. We'll talk about the Traverse later. Anyways, let's keep going through this list. So that was a D tier for me for the Alpaca Elements personally. C tier for you. Let's. What do you want to do next, John? Do you want to do Peak Design or Cotopaxi?
Ooh, let's do Peak Design.
All right, let me just do my little rant then. Peak Design travel backpack again. Peak Design, no company is such a hit or a miss for me as to where like the new outdoor slings. I know you haven't reviewed them yet.
No.
I freaking adore those, man. They just knocked those out of the park. The foldable tote is one of my go-tos in my EDC. I live in a city. I walk everywhere, so I got a grocery shop, right? So when I do, that's my go-to. So I just love so many Peak Design products. This travel backpack though for me though is just it's not doing it. I gave it a C tier, which I'm surprised I didn't give it lower. I think because just out of like respect for the iconicness of this bag and just how legendary it is, like I couldn't just like fail it outright. But I will say when it comes to my personal travels, it's kind of like my nightmare travel bag. It's heavy. I don't find it comfortable. There's a million features and pockets, and I'm just looking for an old school garbage bag on my back, like they just is carrying all my shit, right? And then I got my sling in the front. So with that, the P Design travel backpack, it doesn't do it for me. C tier, John. What do you think about it?
On paper, it is the perfect backpack. On your back, it is a torture device. I fucking I have to give it a D, man. Like it's so many features. It's got like everything, every bell and whistle, the construction, the quality. I mean, it's just amazing. But when you load that sucker up and you're carrying it, where did I take that backpack? I think I took it to Egypt. That's the one I took to
Yep.
Egypt. And good God, Like
Yeah.
it was a pain. It was like, yeah.
And I think it's fair to say, like, again, no disrespect to Peak Design. This is one of the most iconic travel bags in the world. I think Peak Design's doing okay. And I think that so many people connect so strongly with that bag. But I will also say, having read every comment that's ever put on my channel, is that a lot of people also feel like you, John. Like it's not quite a backpack, but maybe a torture device. Like it's a good way to get like a confession from a criminal or like a terrorist. Like it's a good interrogation tool, maybe, but less
Yeah.
so for like comfort on your back and shoulders. And for me, like I understand why. Like P Design does that stunning, like magnetic, like twisty back panel thing where you can stow it in
Yeah.
shoulder straps. And like to do that, you got to cut down on the padding. You got to have this whole design that accommodates that. And if you want that, which is probably the best stowable or one of the best stowable systems I've ever seen for your shoulder straps, compromises have to come with that. And for me,
Yeah.
and I think you as well, compromises come in that comfort.
Yeah, like I said, on paper, man, that bag, I was so stoked to get that bag. It checked every box. But yeah, man, I think I spent almost 3 weeks with that bag in Egypt, and that was an immediate. I got rid of that bag as soon as I got home. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
could have.
I even re-reviewed it recently. We did our original review like 4 years ago, and we
I
get
do
so many
remember that.
requests. Yeah, so I re-reviewed it, and yeah, I liked it a lot more a few years back. But it's a competitive market, right? There's a lot of great travel bags out there, and like I guess full disclosure, like for what I look for in a travel bag, like I'm not looking for the bells and the whistles and the weight. I'm really looking for comfort and simplicity. So,
Hmm.
the lenses to which I'm rating these bags, that's why the Peak Design is just not really my cup of tea as much. So I think it's also important. Like John, what are you looking for in a travel backpack these days?
I've went down the same path that you. I started with wanting all the bells and whistles, the Air Travel Pack 3, the Peak Design, like every bell and whistle I was looking for. I wanted the Cadillac of bags. But now that I've traveled and I've done so many countries and just a lot of traveling, right? I need a bag with comfortable straps. Like I don't need pockets on pockets. Like that's why I reviewed the Firo Levo so high, because it's just simple. Like it carries your shit and it carries it well. And that's what I need in a travel bag. I don't need like all the compression straps. I don't need, like all the stuff, right? It's cool to have, but if you're actually going to carry that bag for hours on end, like it's got to be at the forefront of the bag. And then everything else, you can give or take, you can compromise on, but man, the shoulder straps have to nail it in a travel bag specifically.
It's so important, dude. And I appreciate the fire shout out too. And I think that's actually a good transition to kind of talk about the Air Travel Pack 3 because I'm actually kind of surprised that I give it an A. I gave it an A tier. Spoiler alert. And I'm kind of surprised because, like you said, there's a lot of bells and whistles. That's kind of the Cadillac of bag.
Yeah.
And it's not how I travel anymore with a travel bag. I don't need the compression straps. I don't need all the organization. But I think that my mind at that point in time was, although the Air Travel Pack 3 for me is much more complicated than I want and significantly heavier than I want, those shoulder straps and back panel are so on point. It's just so
Yep.
freaking comfortable that I'm cool rocking it. It's definitely not my dream travel bag because of those extra compromises, but I landed it as an A tier just because of that chunkalicious shoulder strappage that we got going on. It just feels amazing, and that's the beginning and the end for me. So that's why it's an A tier for me. Are you in a similar range?
I'm in the exact same range, and only because it does offer a lot more organization than I need. But at the time I traveled with that bag, the only reason I started looking for something else was because it felt small. It felt like it didn't carry the true 35 liters because of all the admin space and all the different stuff like that. But it worked fine. Like you said, I can carry a heavy bag. A heavy bag is fine as long as the straps are comfortable. And I do think airbags are very, very comfortable. But I'll give it an A for sure, especially if you're somebody who doesn't travel with like tech pouches and all that stuff. Like they got spots for all your gear. So that's cool. Like, like you as well, right? You're probably changing out of bags left and right, for reviewing purposes. But I'm in the tech pouch game, so I have my own organization, and that's why I look for more bare bones things. But it's an easy bag to recommend. I enjoyed my time using it. It is a little heavy, but I give it a solid A. And then I had the 1680D version, which is bomb proof. You know what I mean? Like the quality build construction materials, like it's just it's a really good bag.
You just brought up tech pouches, and I realized A, I didn't do a tech pouch tier, and B, you kind of have a PhD in tech pouches, so I might want to
Oh,
pick your brain
bro.
on what like F
Yeah.
tier tech pouches you're fucking with right now. But
Yeah.
I got that on my notes, so we'll hopefully hit that later.
Yeah.
All right, so that was final answer. I think we're aligned there. A
Yeah,
tier for
we're
the
aligned there.
Pack 3. All right, we're pretty close for all these, so that's good. Great minds think alike. Let's do one more with the Cotopaxi Alpa. I'll keep it brief on my end. I gave it a B, excuse me. Close call. Well, it's funny because when I think of that bag, I actually feel like D, just because like it ain't my style. Like that's not my vibe. Like I prefer something a little more sleek, a little bit more urban, a little bit more modern looking without being too much like a jetpack. So from a taste perspective, aesthetically, the Cotopaxi does not do it for me, especially the Del Dia. That is my nightmare. Like if you caught me in an airport wearing that, it's because I lost a very, very strong bet or something, right? Otherwise, I never in a million years would have done that. But the comfort, that hip belt is actually solid. And it's one of the few hip belts that's attached to the bag, I believe. John, correct me if I'm wrong. Is the hip belt attached to the
I think you
Alpha?
can detach it. I think you can,
Okay.
at least the version I had, you could.
Well, even
Yeah.
then I'm going to
Yeah.
give Cotopax the extra props because that hip belt just works. And I'm sure you've tested bags, John, where they
Or it's
throw
like
the hip belt
stowable.
on.
Yeah, or something
Oh,
like that. Yeah.
exactly. Or it just doesn't work, like
Yeah.
it's like, cool, this is nice, but what am I supposed to do with this? Cotopaxi, on the other hand, you can tell they built the bag around being comfortable. Back panel, shoulder straps, not too heavy actually, which I was surprised with as well. And that hip belt just really worked for me. So B tier. What about you, John?
I'm gonna give it a high B. And you know what's funny is I bought the Del Dio version. The
Yeah.
yeah, the one you hated, I actually bought that. I picked that out myself.
Okay, hey, it's each their own. All right, I said I
Yeah.
don't hate it. I just think it's like a scene from a clown's nightmare. It just doesn't feel. It's just not my vibe. Is all. But
The
but you
the
saw
re-
that and you were like, that's me.
yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm fucking with that. Yeah, that's me.
I
uh
love.
I gave it a B because it wasn't a bad bag, but I think for the price and the feature set, it's a solid B. Like you said, the comfort is about mid tier. The feature set, suitcase style opening. You get a rainfly. I think that one does come with like a rainfly. Like you get a little bit of extra things in there with it, and you're right in the middle of price. I think I picked that one up on sale for like $130 or something like that, all in.
That's
Yeah.
not too bad.
Yeah, and that was brand new. There was like they were running like a sale or something, but I think like between 100 130 $140. I picked that one up, but I think for the price it's not bad.
That's the other part that has to be taken into consideration too, is always prices and value. And one thing that Cotopaxi does so well is just their pricing. I mean, you can drop $350 on a Peak Design bag, or $130 on the Del Dia. Is that the actual, is that the vibe that I'm looking for, the Del Dia? No, but at 130 USD, that's hard to beat.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna keep things moving, John. Let's move into my favorite category, which is EDC. So I got a couple here that you did. All right, let's start with an A tier bag for me. Able Carry Max EDC. I'm not crazy into larger EDCs. My preferred size is somewhere between 17 to 20 liters. But having said that, this bag is absolutely a masterpiece. Organization, access, the look is just stunning in my opinion for the all able carry bags, but the Max EDC in particular, particularly in the Desert Tan. It is just a bag that I keep going back to, and that it blows me away every single time. So, and the reason I didn't do S tier for it is it's just, like I said, a little bit large for my EDC needs, and it is heavy, which is something that I'm always
Yeah.
bitching and moaning about, is heavy bags. So for that reason, I just missed the S tier for my personal use, but stamp that in for me, A tier. John, where do you lie with the Able Carry Max EDC?
That one's an S tier for me. It checked all my boxes. I love the organization. I love the look of the bag. Able Carry's comfort is just spot on. That's the exact size bag that I need personally for an everyday carry. So it fit me great. Yeah, there's really nothing to dislike about that bag in my opinion. I mean, that big giant front pocket, I find uses for it, especially sometimes I have to carry like personal protective equipment, like different like safety vests and stuff like that. So having that big pocket for like shoes and other things, it comes in handy. I really like that bag.
It's just so well done. Able
Yeah.
Carry again could be a hit or a miss. Like their core slings. Did you get a chance to look at those?
I have not got the core slings yet.
I'm really curious to hear what you think about them. I liked a lot. I liked a lot of what was happening with those slings. A lot of innovation. Didn't quite nail it for me. But when Able Carry hits for me, it hits. The Able Carry Max original, the 30 liter, was like
The
one of
30
my
liter.
go-to early one bag travel bags. Like 30
Yep.
liters, I discovered 4 or 5 years back was like my sweet spot for like a weekend trip. It just felt light enough as to where I wasn't cumbered or it wasn't cumbersome, but also I could fit enough to actually pack. So that was like one of the first like smaller travel bags that I fell in love with, because I started heavy travel bags, like, start like 45 liters, then you start cutting,
Yeah.
right? And then
Hmm.
you start growing in your travel baggage. What about you though? I mean, do you feel the same way about Able Carry?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said, they just for me they're a lot more hit than they are miss. With their bags, but yeah, I really do enjoy them, and that one to me that one's a great one.
This will be interesting, John. So I'm going to bring it back to Peak Design now, because we talked about them as a travel bag. And I want to clarify again that I like a lot of Peak Design products. Just the two that coincidentally are on this list so far, not my favorites. The Peak Design Everyday Backpack, it's going C tier for me. I re-reviewed this one as well after 5 years. We did about 4 or 5 months ago. And I was actually blown away by it in terms of the ingenuity behind it, in terms of the materials. Dude, you want to talk about value, actually. Sometimes I think that the value you get for Peak Designs made in-house material set that feels like you're on a SpaceX rocket sometimes. Like, it's honestly kind of astonishing. So all those things in my re-review of the Peak Design Everyday Backpack, I was blown away with. But again, for my personal needs for an EDC, I prefer a bit more malleability for packing. I don't need tons of bells and whistles in the main compartment. I just like I prefer like an easy zippered access as opposed to the
Yeah.
space hatch thing
Yeah.
that they got going on. So for that reason, I gave it a C tier with, again, all the respects in the world. Where does it work for you?
It feels like I'm picking on Peak Design, and I swear that I'm not, but I couldn't get that bag to work for me. That was a D. That was one bag that I used for a couple of days, and I just knew that we were destined to part ways, like right away.
Listen, you can't have chemistry with everyone,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's not always true love. And
Yeah.
that there's nothing wrong with that. Now, but did you feel a certain respect for what I was saying with Peak Design, like with what they're
Oh,
bringing
for
to the
sure.
table in
I
terms of?
think, yeah, I think all of Peak Design's products, from their backpacks all the way down to their packing cubes, the way they design, the materials they're using is really well thought out. It's just that my personal style of carry doesn't mix in with how they design their bags. You know what I mean? But a lot of their gear is, I mean, exceptional, especially like they said, the build and the quality, the thoughtfulness in their design. I've learned that I'm not their target audience for their bags. You know what I mean?
But you know what? They've done a really good job of honing into their target audience. I
Oh,
listen
for
to a lot
sure,
of
for sure.
well, I listen to a lot of e-commerce podcasts, like with running Firo and just trying to learn how to do that, right? And the owner of Peak Design, I can't remember his name. It's not Andy. He was featured on Shopify, and he said they just crossed on the Shopify podcast. They crossed Peak Design 100 million USD in revenue in a single calendar year. So they're doing okay.
Oh yeah, they're doing good. And Peak Design is a brand that I see like non-carry nerds carry. Like they don't know, and they're like, "Oh, you're carrying a Peak Design bag," and they're like, "Oh, is that good?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's it appeals to a wide range of people. I think
They're
people deeper in the niche, probably not so much, but
it is sort of that gateway drug in some
yeah,
ways too, where you want your first nice bag and you're probably going to get hit with a Peak Design ad, or you may have seen it in a retail store, right? Like in Hong Kong, I'm not sure about in the States, but you see Peak Design in a lot of retail spots here. So sort of that gateway drug gets you going. And then, maybe Peak Design, maybe Peak Design works for you, or maybe, just kind of leads you down the rabbit hole. And that's when you get into the airs and the go rucks and just,
yeah,
then it's bye-bye
yeah.
from there.
You see, and I'm also weird like that because a lot of people hate on GoRuck, and I swear by those bags. I love those bags so much.
That's what I'm talking about with the vibe, like
Yeah,
Go Ruck just works for you. I mean, you do come like
yeah.
I never asked John, like, do you ruck a lot, right?
A fair amount. Yeah, I don't want to say a lot,
Fair
but
amount.
I try to, when I take my dogs for a walk, I try to just throw some weight in the backpack and try to, make a little effort for myself while I'm walking them, you know what I mean? But
Is that
I'm
your
not
go-to exercise, or are you hitting the gym as well?
Not so much. I have a Peloton here at the house, so I do the Peloton, and then like I said, when I'm walking the dogs, I try to make a little effort out of it. But I just like the bags, you know, just outside of rucking, not even rucking involved, just the bags. Like I just everyone that I've tried just work for me. They're just big buckets and they're crazy expensive, but man, I swear, if my house is on fire, I'm grabbing my Ultra GR1. Like that's my bag I'm grabbing.
And that's literally the next question I was going to ask. What's your preferred fabric on? So although you're Go Ruck ride or die, you're not like on team 1000D Cordura. You'll take that Ultra over the
Yeah,
1000D.
I've gotten rid of all my 1000D Go Rucks and everything is Robic, 420 Robic, except for my GR1. I have it in 420 Robic, but I also have it in Ultra. I have.
The 420 Robic, John, is that the ripstop that they use?
Yep.
Okay,
That's the
cool. So I
ripstop.
got the double compartment in that, in the
Yes.
teal blue.
The
God,
title blue. Yeah.
oh my God, dude. When I reviewed, because that was like my third or fourth Go Ruck bag, that was when it clicked for me for Go Ruck, where I just realized, you know what? I'm just not really into 1000D. I understand the use case. I understand the functionality. If I'm going to war or going rucking, like give me 1000D Cordura all day.
Yeah.
But in my EDC, don't need it. Little overkill.
Yeah.
So when I got that ripstop on a Go Ruck, my first time reviewing the double compartment, I fell in love with it, dude. Like then I was like, I get this now. It just that fabric really worked for me.
Yeah, I've literally converted all of my Go Ruck collection to that ripstop. I have that. I have the same title blue you do, but I have the 18-liter version. Then I have the kit bag. I also have the gym bag. I have a GR1, 21-liter, 26-liter. Yeah, I have a lot of Go Ruck bags.
Clearly, dude. We're gonna have to reserve a podcast just for a Go Ruck discussion. Okay, coming soon.
Not sponsored. Not sponsored either.
Not sponsored. No. John, moving on. I'm curious. Alpaca Metro backpack, the 12-liter. You
12-liter.
Okay, the small guy.
I haven't reviewed it for the channel, but I purchased it for my wife for a trip to take as her day bag, and I got to mess around with it, check it out a little bit, carry it too, because you know how that goes.
Well, we're gonna have to pull her on the pod real fast to hear her tier ranking, or you can speak for her if you want. What do you think her ranking would be?
Well, no, I ended up having to carry it. It was supposed to be her day bag, but like I said, as the day goes on, who ends up carrying all the crap? So that's what I said.
Been there, done that. Okay, cool. So no rating coming from her because you end up. But that means you have a very educated rating to give it. So
yeah,
I'm gonna flip the tides. You go first.
I'm gonna give it a solid B. It's a fun little bag. Isn't it? You know, not a lot to hate about it. I give it a solid B.
I agree. Why not an S or an A then? What holds it back from just being class in your opinion?
It's just not a size that I can use a lot. Yeah,
makes sense. Yeah, I mean, if you're rocking 26 to 30 liter EDCs, then a 12-liter alpaca bag, which let's be honest, probably a little bit closer to 10.
For sure.
That's just not going to make the cut for you.
Yeah. But it's a cool little bag.
I gave it a B tier. I thought that I quite liked that bag. Just alpaca bags always have some little quirks to me. I think it had a PU-coated zipper in the front, which I just didn't need. It was really, really tight, in my opinion. Remind me, does that one have the hood as well?
Yes, yeah.
God, that annoys me. I hate the hood.
I come from Go Ruck, so every damn Go Ruck bag except the double compartment bullet that you had has the rain flaps.
Doesn't it just drive you crazy, dude? Like you don't just like find yourself like wanting to throw the bag off a bridge sometimes?
So I've been carrying them for so long that I've gotten to the habit where I just flip the rain flap back before I touch the bag. So if I flip the rain flap and then I unzip, zip, do whatever I need to do, and I float it back. And that's why I love
all about building a new system. Then
yeah.
So like you're talking like in the morning, you're taking your Go Ruck bag all day. You'll just unflap for like a preparation for the day, or it's just every time you unzip, you do the motion.
I do it every time I unzip. I know I have friends that just permanently leave it back, but I like the aesthetic, so I flip it back when I'm done. But I got in the habit. The first thing when I go for my bag, I flip it, unzip. It's just like muscle memory at this point.
I'll give it to you. It does look cleaner with the flap as opposed to just having the exposed zipper. Like it's a vibe, and I get that, but that drives me fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's why I love the Ultra version so much, because the Ultra version doesn't have the rain flaps. It has AquaGuard zippers instead of the rain flap.
How much does that cost? $600?
Oh, $750.
Fuck, I was joking, man.
Oh.
It's really
Yeah, I think the retail price on that one was $750, and it was a limited Carology, it
Okay.
was a collab bag with the Carryology.
Got it. So that's not in stock normally for GoRuck?
No, no, they haven't. That was 2 years ago, and they haven't
Okay, cool, cool.
they haven't made another Ultra bag since.
Might be another one coming.
I hope so, man.
Let's see, John. All right, we're gonna do our last EDC bag, going back to Air. City Pack Pro 2. For me, we're doing here in Nomads Nation, we do like our leaderboard rankings where I pick my top bags, different categories, and we do it with the team. And last leaderboard rankings like 7 months ago, and I picked the Air City Pack Pro 2 as my go-to EDC. It is my highest recommendation. And in this tier video, I also gave it an S tier, obviously because of that. I'm struggling with my decision for if I'm going to have this still be my #1 backpack recommendation. There's a couple other other EDC bags that are gunning for it, but having said that, it's just an absolute masterpiece as far as I'm concerned. And it was one of the no-brainer S tier bags for me on this list. Do you feel the same?
Absolutely. I gave the CPP2 the best backpack of 2025 award on my channel. It's just a solid bag. Construction, build quality, feature set. I don't give a shit about the 3 handles. I like it. I know a lot of people complain about the bunny ears, but I found when I actually travel with that bag and when I'm using that bag, because I take that bag as a personal item, having the handle on each side and the top, like I don't have to think like if the bag's here, there, wherever, there's a handle, and I found it so useful. So yeah, I get it, it's in the way of the water bottle pocket sometimes, but to me, I found the handles real useful. Like it just checks so many boxes. It's an easy bag to recommend. I feel that it's priced right. Like it's just all around a really good bag.
Brought up such a great point about priced right. Air is just, they're so savage with the what I mean is like, I'm running my own backpack brand, and it's like it's tough, and you're trying to figure out your spot for your margins, and typically where the competitors are, and then you have a company like Air, and it's like the value that you get from some of their bags is crazy, dude. I mean, what does the City Pack Pro 2 run? Is like
It's
210?
like 210, yeah, something like that. Yeah, like 210.
I mean, value-wise, if you look at the competitors, if you're looking at what GoRuck offers, Peak Design,
Oh, brother, yeah.
Simple, it's kind of mind-blowing the value that you get from airbags, which is why it's so easy to recommend. And it's been a really interesting business strategy from their perspective. I think a company like GoRuck is obviously making a bit more margin on every bag, and that's their business model, and that works. They found, who they work, who that works for. And we do that with Fire as well, because I'm a smaller company, and like it's hard to do this game, and I'm still learning it, so I don't want to make any big mistakes. But Air definitely is cutting that margin down on their side, and it's
Yeah.
just it makes their bags really hard to compete with, because like, all right, let's say like the other bag that I'm considering to put as my #1 EDC in my next leaderboard rankings is going to be the Rework Toshi. These are going head to head for me. Like every week I look at the City Pack Pro 2 and I'm like, definitely. I look at the Toshi, I'm like, oh, you're going to take the throne. But if you look at the price difference, I think the Toshi is like $190. Air's 210, and like you get so much more value for the Air in terms of like the materials and the fabrics, and I think a warranty that you think that is a bit more tested and true. Nothing against Rework, like I said, that might be my favorite backpack in the world right now for an EDC, but it's just that's what Air does, and it's hard to compete with.
And that's the only reason why the Rework didn't get that position for me, is because for $20 more, you're getting 1680D Cordura ballistic nylon. It's available in 4 different colors. It's available in X Pack. It's available in Ultra. Like there's just more. Those are more expensive, but they have something for everybody. 4 colors, 3 materials. I understand Rework is just a small company. They can't offer that many SKUs, right? Just not feasible for a small company, but the price difference is just too close, and I do think the material choices are better on the Air with the ballistic nylon.
And that's not a reflection on Rework. Actually,
No,
Rework's
not at
very well
all.
priced. They're crushing it. Like they're doing such a good job. That's just Air just really being special and focusing on providing immense value. And there's sort of, when I try and talk about the value of a backpack in a review, I'll usually end up kind of finding air and like using that as my standard or my metric, because they're the ones who are bringing the most quality at the lowest price, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm reviewing a travel bag or an EDC bag, I'll kind of gauge where Air's similar products are in terms of sizes or EDC or use case, and then just kind of go from there. So
Yeah.
S
I don't think you're
S
making
tier.
a bad choice either way. If you're going rework or the CPP2, I mean, they're both great bags. The rework too, it's a 20 liter, so it's a little smaller. So if you need something a little smaller too, that also checks a huge box, because a lot of people are looking for a smaller bag. You know what I mean? Not that 24-liter Air, even though it packs a
I'm,
little small.
I'm
But yeah,
I'm one of those, like I said,
yeah.
17 to 20 is my sweet spot. I think right now we'll see what happens with the leaderboard video. We're probably about a month or two away from shooting this, but I'm thinking about it now because I want my picks to be, I don't know, just as accurate as a reflection as possible as to what I'm really digging. And right now, I think Rework's got the lead. I just think they nailed that Toshi pack. I think that the aesthetic is the big contributing factor for me loving it so much. It's just got this mean kind of it's anonymous look to it. I do think sometimes that you got this little bit of a tech bro vibe with the Air, which I'm not
Oh, for
always
sure.
like trying to jump into, versus Rework. You get just a little bit of an anonymous, discreet, like it could be anything. I don't know. I like that. It's just so well camouflaged from that perspective while still looking premium as well. I just think they nailed it across the
Yeah.
board.
My favorite feature of that bag is actually how the zippers taper. And I saw some people complaining that the zipper stops when you're unzipping, but that's actually designed into the bag. It's designed to stop there so you can flip open and use the bag in a half zip orientation. And since
It's brilliant.
that's how I use bags, even full clamshell bags. I never open full clamshell an EDC.
No,
I half zip. So having the zippers naturally stop there on each side of the bag, it was awesome for me. Uh,
it was so you're totally right. Like it almost snags in that corner, but
yeah,
that's
yeah.
it's
By,
intentionally
by by
done because
design, yeah.
exactly. And then all you gotta do
Yeah.
is just give a little bit extra to
Yeah.
bring it down all the way. It's just it's the gift that keeps on giving. So shout out to Air and shout out to Rework. You guys made some incredible EDCs. John, we're gonna jump over to slings now. While we're on Rework, let's just keep the train going. Toshi, 5 liter. You've reviewed all three of V tier?
I've reviewed every rework product they've ever made.
Love it. Where's the Toshi sling landing for you these days?
I don't know if there's a tier higher than S tier, but that's where the reworked Toshi sling belongs. And yes, it's not the greatest looking sling, but man, it is super functional. I have yet to find a sling to dethrone its function. The quick access pocket, stowaway straps, you can adjust. I mean, it's just so awesome. And that sling took the #1 spot for my channel as the best sling of 2025. Was the version 2 Toshi sling. I love that thing so much.
Didn't sound like there was a lot of struggle or competition for that award.
No, man, that thing is just so awesome. And I've traveled like quite a bit with that sling, and it's great. It checks a lot of boxes, and it holds more than what the eye believes, leads you to believe. But it's great.
It's like the Air City Pack Pro 2 for me being the most recommendable EDC backpack, just
Hmm.
because it's just so easy to recommend and everyone's always blown away by it when they get it. That's what the Rework Toshi has done in the world of slings, I think. I don't think that their Toshi pack is quite as recommendable on the same level. I think I think depends a bit more on the person, but for the
Hmm.
Toshi sling, I mean, many baggers is just it's like 7 posts a day of I got the Toshi sling and it's the
Yeah.
greatest thing that ever happened to me. And it's as to where I am smitten by the Toshi pack. The Toshi sling doesn't work as much for me and my personal
Hmm.
preference of what I like. So for me, I gave it a B tier, but in the video, I was like, listen, guys, I want to be very clear though. It's a B tier for me, but
For you, yeah,
objectively S
yeah,
tier. Objective. I just want to make sure we're on the same page. It's a bit too much on the organization side for me. It's a bit too it comes down to the aesthetic. I think that for me, a sling, I do like a certain vibe with it, sort of a minimalist urban vibe, and there's just something a little bit eh, lumpy about it sometimes.
yeah, for
But
sure.
that design is what gives it all of its functional advantages.
Hmm.
That design is why it works so well, as to where you can put water bottles in it and umbrellas in it and all your tech as well that you want to carry. It's just, it is a functional masterpiece through and
Yeah.
through. So again, objectively an S tier. Just for me personally, it's a B tier.
Yeah, I think that's the only complaint that I've really seen is the aesthetic of it. And I've had people
It's all
make
you can
comments.
complain about,
Yeah, it's
right?
really all.
What else could you
Yeah.
complain about?
Version 2 really fixed any other little items that people may have had an issue with it. But yeah, aesthetically, it's not going to win, that award probably. But man, the function just trumps that for me.
I was like half hoping they wouldn't put a handle on the new version, because then I'd at least have something to in my cons list, but they
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
What do I say as a con now? You guys give
Yeah.
me, I guess there's a lot of too many pockets, you know?
Yeah.
They really make our job difficult sometimes as reviewers rework trying to find cons in their bags. They're just so
Yeah,
freaking good at what they do.
yeah, really thoughtful design. So yeah, you're right. It trying to come up with something, especially for the version 2. I'm like, I think the only thing they would make fix this is if they offer materials and color options, right? And that's about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Dude, and they're going to grow. Like, how exciting is
Yeah.
it going to be when rework is 5 years down the road? They got some more funding, and then they're doing the limited ultras and the fucking, the VX42 in pink and shit. Like, I mean, it's going to be very exciting because they're so in carry culture. As to where, like, they're itching to do stuff like this, just about money.
Yeah.
They can't yet, but once they get that funding behind them and their feet on the ground, I think they're gonna give us some really cool things to talk about.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
How about another sling that's near and dear to my heart, John, which is the Bellroy Venture Ready Sling 2.5. What do you think about that?
That for me is a solid A. And my only beef with that sling is that it's not 2.5 liters. That's about it. It's a great sling.
It's like a 1.5.
Yeah. That's really my only complaint with that sling. But that sling is awesome. I know why you like it and why so many people like it. Again, so many color options. There's different sizes. I mean, it's a really, really, really good sling.
I like how you think about color options a lot when you're sort of determining this too. I want to integrate that more into my thought process, because it's really important, because not everybody wants a black bag, And obviously every bag's gonna start in black. So I like that. That's really interesting. But yeah, S tier for me. As to where, if you're wondering why I'm not crazy personally about the Toshi sling as much, because I just prefer a minimalist kind of sleek looking sling, like the Bellroy Venture Ready. I mean, if you've ever watched my channel, you've heard me harp on this a million times. It's small, it's comfortable. I love the harness design. I love the 3-pocket system. That's another thing I don't like about the Toshi. I think it's 4 pockets, right?
4. Yeah, it's got 4.
I don't need that extra pocket. My ADHD brain can't handle that. But yeah, you're right. Color options. It's just a sling that functions exactly as it needs to and just looks awesome in the process. What about, though, John? Let's talk about Aviator. I'm sorry, Aviator. Let's talk about Tomtoc, the Aviator sling from them. I gave that an A tier as well, and I was almost surprised as to my own rating.
Which one? Which one is that? The T33 or the 337?
I'm sorry, I forget. Tomtoc's naming conventions
Yeah.
just shoot me in the head sometimes, because I don't know where they come up with these, and B, I can never freaking remember. It's the Tomtoc Aviator T33, but fun fact, it's not a 33-liter bag, it's a 1.5-liter bag. Make that math make sense to me. But anyways, that aside, Tomtoc, your naming conventions are very charming. I was shocked that I gave it a A tier when I was doing the video, because as I'm sitting there examining it, I'm like, this is sort of like a Bellroy Venture Ready 2.5, just a little bit more accessibly priced. And I just love how light it feels. I'm not sure what version you might have or how many fabric versions they have, but that ripstop that Tomtoc uses, it's great. It's so light, and it just makes the bag so fun and easy.
I have it in both the X-Pack and the ripstop version.
Dope.
Yeah,
Dope.
I
haven't played with an X-Pack. The only X-Pack Tomtoc sling I have is, I'm not gonna remember the name because they're naming conventions. It's the one that looks like a American football. What's that one?
So that's also still the T33. That's just a 3.5 liter.
Cool. All right, cool. If you say so. If you say
I also have that one as well. Yeah, because that T33 is available in 3 sizes: the 1.5, 2.5, and 3.5. They also have, I can't remember the one you're talking about. I think pretty sure it's the T33. I have another one too, but yeah, the namings get get out of whack very quickly.
They
But
do. But yeah, what do you think about the T33 1.5 liter?
that's an S tier for me.
Oof,
That's an
fire.
S tier for me because it's functional. It reminds me so much of the Belroy Venture Sling at a
Mm.
more affordable price point. You don't get as many color options, but dude, that sling is like $30, and like on sales, Black Fridays, I've seen it as low as like $22, $23 for that sling. And man, there's just so much to like about it at the price point. That's an easy sling for me to recommend. Like how when people ask me an everyday carry backpack, I'm like, check out the Rework, check out the City Pack Pro 2. When it comes to slings, I'm like, yeah, definitely take a look at Tomtoc. They got a sling in every size, every category, and pound for pound, they're the best value per dollar.
Per pound, you're totally right. I mean, we were harping on, not harping, I was giving Air credit for how great their value is. And I think in that category of more premium,
Premium stuff, yeah.
exactly. They're going to be hard to beat. You can almost say, I don't know, I'm not a big car guy. Are you a big car guy, John?
Somewhat.
What car brand would Air be? I always thought like a BMW.
I could see that.
Not,
That's a good.
not as expensive as a Mercedes or a Bentley or a Roll, but like still
but all the class.
All the class, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, cool. But Tomtoc's coming in like, I don't know, like it's just like that Toyota. It's just dependable, and it's like it's not gonna break on you, and it's just gonna be awesome. And it's kind of astonishing how low priced Tomtoc bags can be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. And the Tomtoc T37 Aviator, because there's multiple aviators. I gave that the award of my most used product, like carry product of the year. Like when I'm running errands, I'm pretty sure you reviewed it. I think you did.
Absolutely. See, I couldn't remember what it was because of the naming convention.
Yeah,
I'm looking at it now. I love this bag.
Yeah, so that little guy, I'm running errands, I'm doing my day to day. It's just an easy bag to grab. It holds everything I need for the day, and that's actually what replaced my T33, the T37. God damn it, Tomtoc.
S tier level for you as well, then.
Oh yeah, I love that. I also they sent me that one to review, and then I purchased the X-Pack version because I love it so much. Yeah,
it's so interesting, dude, because this is basically a vertical sling. It's like an old school pouch almost, and they're so fun. And this is I see a lot more happening in this direction. There's a lot of slings like this. Simple's got one, Alpaca's got a few. I reviewed a bunch.
Black Ember,
Black Ember, yeah. This is always my most recommended because you can really fuck one of these up very easily because you try and overcomplicate it. Like the Simple one. Again, shout out to Simple. Commuter Pack V2. John, you haven't reviewed the Commuter Pack yet?
No, I have not.
You got it, dude. It's right in that conversation of S tier EDC bags. So I'm not picking on Simple here, but I think it's the motion phone sling they call it. It's so padded and the materials are so thick and they try to do a lot of stuff with it. And you got this little package, just small little guy. And I think that's what Tomtoc understood is like, yo, simplicity is the route that we need to go. Otherwise, it's going to get too tight with the way that the thing opens, And this is always my number one recommendation for a vertical sling.
The street sling's very close, but I think the Air street sling's good, but the Tomtoc Aviator for sure. The T37 Aviator is for me.
You like the Air street sling?
It's cool because I like the T37 so much, so I like the form factor. They're almost spot on to each other. I like the premiumness of the Fidlock buckle. Is it necessary? No. Do I like it? Yes. But
I commend your self-awareness. At least you know. Necessary? Absolutely not. But that's why I fucking love it.
Yeah. So it's cool, but just as simple, like you said, I like the organization a little bit better in the T37, and then I like the ripstop fabric that Tomtoc uses a lot.
I do too, man. Like it's obviously it's no Cordura, right? But it's nice and it works.
Yeah.
I'd love to learn more about Tomtoc. I think they're obviously a Chinese brand, and my understanding is they should own their own factory. And a lot of Chinese brands, they're factories, right? And they're making bags for other brands. And they're like, wait, we can just make our own brand. And just because they do that, though, like doesn't mean it's going to be a success. Just because you know how to make bags doesn't mean you know how to sell bags. Doesn't mean you know how to market bags. Doesn't mean you know how to find your people. And that's what fascinates me about Tomtoc is they've done such a great job at doing that, and I'd love to know more about them. I don't know. Tomtoc's mysterious to me. I don't know a lot about them. I mean, they, you know, they're in touch with me, like they're in touch with you, you know, and they're like send us bags, and I'm like that's I want to know more about these guys.
I would love to do a unpacked Tomtoc collab. I would love that so much.
Putting it out there in the universe. Tomtoc, you heard it first. Is that your go-to? If you could do a collab with any brand, you'd start with Tomtoc?
I would, because as much as I love premium shit, I mean, affordable stuff, I mean, just something everybody could get a hold of. I mean, that would be awesome. Something simple, something affordable.
I gotta say too, that'd be a boss move, because the criticism in collab and drop culture is, you know, it's premium brands, and then, you know, because of no fault of their own, they got to charge a hefty price to cover the cost of these. I mean, I just met with the owner of Evergoods, Kevin. They were in Hong Kong. They were at an event here, and I met the whole team. We got coffee, and we just chatted for like 2 hours about bags, and it was so cool. And they were telling me about just how much time it took to get like all the fabrics for their Clued Carryology collab, right? Which was awesome. You want to talk about extra. That collab was a different level of extra, which is why it was so awesome. But just hearing like he's like, dude, the email thread was hundreds of emails long just to get the fabric of this one fabric done, you know? So going back to my original point, there's a lot of time and money invested into these collabs, so they have to charge more to make economic sense. But that's where a lot of the controversy comes from. People say these collabs are too expensive, 5, 6,
and limited.
The Go Ruck 700, you said, right?
It was $750, I believe, was the retail price on that. Yeah.
I rest my case, but you know, economically, it has to happen that way. But if you flip that on its head, then, dude, you did like a you know, unpacked Tomtoc collab, and it was just very accessibly priced and always available. That'd be a boss move,
dude. $40 T37 unpacked style, man. That
hell yeah, dude. Count me up. Tomtoc, if you're listening to this, let's get this going right away. John, we're running close on time. I'm going to do a couple more, though, because I got to get your thoughts on the Evergoods cast, too. For me, again, like I said, I just met the Evergoods dudes. They're so cool. Probably the brand that I respect the most, just because of what they built. So when I'd say that the cast 2 is a C tier for me, not my favorite, it's not them. It's just this one sling. Mostly from an aesthetic perspective, it's just a little bit more of a fanny pack that kind of fits around the chest. Yeah, fanny pack vibe, but also just a little more of an outdoorsy vibe. I'm just modern, urban, sleek kind of guy. So C tier, but again, objectively, probably an S tier, just to balance out all the aggregators out there who are going to say, you hate Evergoods. I'm just saying it's not for me, but yeah, what do you think, John? C tier for me. Where does it land for you?
I give it a B. I've owned, I think, two the V1 and the V2. I think I've owned them both at this point. I almost bought the collab edition, but I was like, I just, why? When I've already had it twice, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's kind of FOMO. I fall victim to FOMO quite a bit. But anyway, there's nothing functionally wrong with it. They fixed the buckle problem on the version 2, so that was good to see. It's a good size. I don't really mind the aesthetic too much. It's just like, it doesn't spark joy for me. That's really, you know what I mean? I couldn't really pick out anything to really say what's bad with it, especially since they fixed the buckle issue with version 2. But I mean, overall, it's a good sling. It's just not my vibe.
It doesn't spark joy. It's no Tomtoc T37.
No Tomtoc, yeah. Dude, I could drag that thing behind a truck and it keeps trucking.
I just want to also throw some more love to Evergoods. Like I always feel the need to neutralize, but it's important for me to say, like, it's not the brand. Like, I think the CPL 24 could be the greatest backpack ever made, just from like a design brief and like accomplishing a masterpiece of a product. Like, Evergoods knocks out of the park sometimes. This one just
I love Evergoods. The CTB 26 is on my Mount Rushmore of bags. I love that bag. So
I'm more team CPL, but I understand the CTB love. I totally get it. World's best water bottle holders?
I would give that to the ULA Dragonfly.
Ooh, really? Make your pitch.
Dude, they're like 12 inches tall. A 64-ounce Yeti fits in there on a fully packed out Dragonfly. Dude, it's just anything you throw at those water bottle pockets, they're going to swallow. And then it doesn't matter how packed the bag is. That ultra stretches they're using from Challenge, awesome. Like, yeah. I
You know,
haven't seen, yeah, great water
go.
bottle pockets on the
Sorry to
Dragonfly.
cut you off. That's a really good point. The ULA isn't in my rotation as much. I got the Dragonfly. I got an older version, and I just remember being blown away by the water bottle pockets. And it's funny because they're one of the few brands that actually advertise the water bottle capacity on their website. But when they're that big, like I totally get it. Like because you could fit an entire bag within those pockets by itself.
Yeah, that's what I said. You could stuff a 64-ounce Yeti in a fully loaded Dragonfly, and it's wild. But yeah, and then they don't look all saggy. Yeah, they're not all saggy when it's empty. You know what I mean?
So in your in your water bottle pocket, this is getting so meta, so nerdy. But in your water bottle pocket tier list, you've got Evergoods CTB as A tier, and then the Dragonfly as S tier.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, we're a grown man talking about backpacks on the internet, brother. So we just got to embrace it.
I'm not
You
complaining.
just
All
got to
right?
embrace it. You just got to
I'm very
embrace it.
comfortable with the paths,
Yeah.
the decisions I've made in my life, but I just
Yeah.
sometimes I get aware of it, and I'm like, is this really where I am? Yes, I am, and I love it. But it's so funny because you seem to be an appreciator of the finer things in life, such as water bottles. Yet your team Go Ruck, which never has any external
Never has water. Yeah.
never. I think
Yeah, never.
you're much more like in Go Ruck culture, I assume, and like what's happening in there, with their super fans and stuff. Are there ever murmurings like, "Hey, we're gonna do a limited edition with water bottle pockets," or is it they're just like never?
I mean, the M22 and the M24 had water. I know you reviewed the M23, which didn't have the water bottle. It had the internal water bottle pocket.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why they're just sticking to their guns on that. I think eventually they might cave. They did a collab version of the GR2 recently, and that one also had internal water bottle pocket. But I think
I'm
they're
not talking
etching.
internal, dude. I'm talking external. Okay.
Nah, I don't know, man. I just think that
Don't get me wrong.
I think
I'm not.
if they do,
I don't need. I don't need external water bottle pocket.
yeah.
I'm not on that team. The commenters who are very emphatic
Oh,
about
dude.
their
Yeah.
it's
I don't think we will never see a water bottle pocket on a GR1. That's how I think, because like you said, I would say I'm a fanboy, and GoRuck doesn't sponsor me. Everything I reviewed, I paid for with my own. Everything that I own, I bought on my own. But I just think the GR1 has solidified its shape, design. The only thing you're going to see is new materials. I don't think they're going to tweak that bag very much going forward.
like I said, I just met with the Evergoods team and Kevin, and I'm not trying to do a name drop, but whatever, it's a fucking name drop. But we were joking, and I was like pitching them on possibly doing a Nomads Nation collab at some point, and I was like, hey, maybe we can do the CPL 24, but throw some water bottle pockets on there. And he goes, you're hilarious, and he slaps me on the back and then changes the topics, which was basically him saying, fuck off, it's never gonna happen. The CPL is exactly what it needs to be. So yeah, I think that you nailed it. Like when you get a bag that's that iconic, I think that protecting sort of that silhouette and what it is and what it represents is really important. That's why GoRuck and Evergoods stand their ground. Certain bags they're designed a certain way, and that's the way they're meant to be.
You're more likely to see a new bag with the water bottle pockets than an older bag with a water bottle. Just like they're coming out with the mesh ruck, skate ruck, all these other bags. You'll see one probably soon, but never on a GR1.
Ain't gonna happen.
Nah.
John, we're gonna wrap this up, but I got tech pouches written down here, and I underlined 6 times. And I if you had to S tier a couple of tech pouches for me, give me 2. What are your top 2 tech? Oh, man came prepared. I love this.
Well, just because this isn't my actual tech pouch. This is the tech pouch from Philip Robach. He's a builder out of the Czech Republic.
Yep.
This is my all-time favorite tech pouch ever made, I've ever owned, and I owned lots.
I'm getting real close right now because I actually haven't.
But this thing,
seen this bag myself.
It's got it fits everything that I need in here. I got power banks. I got my cords in the center. The thing with this one though, this was $225.
Small batch.
Small batch. Yeah, small batch, and you get to pick your own materials. You pick your inner, your outer. You pick your layout. You want the patch field, no patch field. You want the molly on the back. So you pick whatever you want. So that's but it's also he's a excellent maker, and his bags and tech pouches are highly sought after. Good luck trying to get them. There is high demand, but yeah, 250 bucks for a pouch is definitely it's insane. It is what it is.
I didn't think twice when you said it. You were like 225. I'm like, yeah, cool. I think that just shows how deep we are in it. Where we're like, yeah, 225 for a pouch. Hey, it's small batch.
But I'm not like,
public.
Yeah,
What do you?
I'm not numb to the fact though that I paid that much for a pouch. Like I realize that it's absurd. So I'm gonna own it. Like that's the perfect pouch for me, and I do believe it's worth every penny. If it's what I need, I got to pick. You know what I mean? Like it's perfect, literally perfect.
That was me with a pouch of my own. I was at here in Hong Kong, we got a backpack store called Suburban. It's if y'all ever come out to Hong Kong, it's the greatest place in the world. Like for carry nerds, like all the brands we talk about, they got them. And and he's got his own Carryology collab wall too. Greg, the owner, he's just the biggest bag nerd. But anyways, I was there.
They ship to the U.S.
and they do ship to the U.S.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I was there right after the Griffin Evergoods Carryology collab dropped, and they had the Cap 2 in the collab, which is this limited edition wax canvas with this stunning neon orange interior. And they had to jack the prices up a little bit, so it wasn't like as if you, but it was actually already sold out on the Evergoods website. So I think that ended up dropping around $200 on that as well. So
easy.
I did feel a little bit of a sting, the credit cards going through, and I'm like, what was that? My shoulder started to hurt a little bit. So no regrets though. I mean, sometimes you just got to drop $200 on a pouch.
Yeah. I mean, you're preaching to the choir here, brother.
You got any other S tiers?
After that, believe it or not, I would say, well, I mean the Cap 2, right? The Cap 2 is goated on every front. But another tech pouch that I find myself using was the what is it? Oh, the GoRuck. I forgot what they call it. It's the one from GoRuck. I can't remember. I'm blanking on the name right now. Dop kit, wire dop. The GoRuck wire dop.
I haven't seen it yet.
The reason I like that pouch so much, it's not fancy, but it's kind of like the modern day Ferrer, where it's flatter and it spreads your gear out longer. So that pouch fits into the front pocket of a lot of bags, and it helps organize, because like the front dump pocket of the Air CPP2, I mean just a lot of bags have that front dump pocket, and if you put a lot of loose things in there, it just sinks to the bottom in a big giant mess, and you get this bulge at the bottom of the pocket. But the way that wire dop is laid out, it keeps everything organized flat, and then when you slide that whole dop kit into your pocket, it keeps the front pocket from bulging out and everything sinking to the bottom. So it's kind of like Evergoods Cap 1, but a little bit larger, and it doesn't get as bulky.
Yeah. It's fun. I'm looking at this GoRuck wire dop. Never seen it before. I just know that I would love this thing. It looks just so simple. I mean, it's a taco with a buckle. It's a tortilla with a fucking buckle on it, and God bless it, because that simplicity is going to give you so much versatility in terms of what you can actually pack in there. The modern Dayfarer pouch, one of my all-time favorites and super underrated, but has a little bit more padding in there, and it's a little bit thinner, right? So a little bit thinner. Yeah, a little bit thinner. So this looks like it can actually pack more. And you brought up the Cap 1, which I was always on Team Cap 2 because I love the self-standing nature of it, and it's still goated. It's been quadruple knighted, right? But I'm actually more on Team Cap 1 now. I just love that how it works. I got the I got a collab with that one too. God, I buy more collabs than I think that I do. I got the X-Pack one with the gold interior. It's not a collab. That's a limited edition, right?
Oh no, that's a collab. You got wait. You got the black X-Pack with the brown interior?
Yes, that one.
Oh, okay.
That's just the regular X-Pack, right?
It was a limited release, but yeah, it's X-Pack with the coyote interior, and I think it's sold out now. But yeah,
that coyote interior. Did you have one?
I didn't. I bought the half cap, the 0.5 in that colorway. The black X-Pack
interior though.
The coyote interior, yeah.
Oh God, that coyote interior is stunning to me. I think it's so freaking beautiful.
Yeah, I know, it's awesome, especially like the bags that they made. And they made the CTB 26, the Cap 1, Cap 2, all in that colorway. It's awesome.
Oh, good. What's awesome is this GoRuck wire dop. I have to grab me one. Appreciate the heads up there.
Oh yeah, it works great in a bunch of bags.
All right, I'm saving that. So, John, I think we're winding up on our time here. We're over at an hour. I appreciate you coming on. Any last minute things you want to plug, or what's going on in the channel over at Unpacked?
I got a bunch of bags in. We're reviewing gear. The kind of reason you would watch me is everything that's on my channel I actually use for at least 2 weeks, so it's actually field tested. Nothing is, just reviewed out of the box. So I'll try to provide some real world feedback on everything I use, and if that's your vibe, then definitely check my channel out. Thank you, Aaron, for having me on. I appreciate it. I love these conversations. Anytime.
Thanks, man. It's so fun nerding out. I can do this all day. Next time we'll double click more into tech pouches, because I really want to pick your brain a little bit on that. Like you said, you got a PhD when it comes to tech pouches, and I'm excited to see your perspective on some new bag drops that are coming soon. I know that a couple were sent your way. Nothing we can say just yet, but I think March is going to be a pretty exciting month in our little carry community.
Yep. March is shaping up to be a big month. Testing is underway. That's all I can say.
Over here as well. I look forward to seeing what you got, man. Thanks so much for your time. We'll chat soon.